An Ohio man is being charged with the rape of a 10-year-old girl who needed to travel out of state to Indiana for an abortion. The case drew national attention and also drew a lot of scrutiny in the wake of the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade.
That's right. The man that you saw in that image is 27-year-old Gershon Fuentes, who raped a 10-year-old and then impregnated her. And when she was pregnant in the state of Ohio, where she was unable to get an abortion, her family had to travel to another state, Indiana. In order to get an abortion, so she wouldn't be further victimized by forced pregnancy and forced child delivery, giving birth to her rapist child. I want to just make sure you keep in mind, we're talking about a 10-year-old.
I was like 80 pounds when I was 10 years old.
And I want you to keep that in mind as we later discuss what a woman's body goes through, what a person's body goes through
as she is
delivering
a baby. Now, before we get to that though, I want to talk about
all of the right-wingers
who seem to have a significant interest in
denying
that this story was real. But we didn't know anything about the perpetrator either, and that was exactly what the right wing exploited to try to throw cold water on this. To make it seem as though, no, this is impossible, this is just made up, to try to throw cold water on this. To make it seem as though, no, this is impossible, this is just made up. The left wing is using this to politicize the issue of abortion, of rape, of the brutality that the right wing is inflicting upon women and girls in this country, to try to throw cold water on this, abortion, of rape, of the brutality, to try to throw cold water on this, and girls in this country. Now, let's get to the individuals who seem to have an interest in discrediting the story in the first place. Let's start off with Jesse Waters, who had a woman by the name of
Megan Fox from TJ Media
to try to throw cold water on the story.
No one has called me to say you're wrong.
You're wrong, and you're a grotesquely ugly freak.
The story is corroborated.
They have a skull on display that is clearly a dragon.
There is a police report.
But their idea of, oh, well, dragons aren't real. No, this isn't real. This is something they've just made up.
This is a horrific story being used to divide Americans, being used to outrage people, being used as a political weapon. And that was one of the main red flags to me, Jesse.
So there she is, trying to discredit the story because no one's responding to her request for comment. When it was later confirmed that this was in fact a real story, she didn't take any responsibility for her lies, for her efforts to discredit the story. She immediately tweets in response to someone who tells her to delete her account and calls her a hack because she is.
That is clearly a dragon.
She says, quote,
I should delete my account for exposing that no media was looking for a rapist and was only interested in political weaponization of child rape. Would this arrest have happened if no one asked questions about the shoddy reporting of this heinous act? I'm glad someone was arrested.
Yeah, the police referral was actually made on June 22nd. So Megan Fox, you're not a hero. If anything, you support a political ideology that brutalizes young girls and women in this country, and you're a
disgusting person for doing it. Cenk, go ahead.
So the charge that's most absurd is you guys are politicizing abortion.
Irrelevant.
That's what the Republican Party has been doing for the last 50 years. They've been on a warpath. They told every one of their voters, don't worry about any of the other issues.
Don't worry that we're robbing you blind.
We're gonna keep your wages low.
Vote only on abortion.
And now they turn around and say,
I can't believe you're politicizing abortion.
Okay.
Don't make it illegal and no, it doesn't have to be political at all.
It's just the most absurd thing you've ever heard.
You know what politicizes abortions? Having right-wing, grifter, culture warrior Republican lawmakers get in between right-wing, grifter, culture warrior Republican lawmakers.
Okay.
Get in between right-wing grifter culture warrior Republican lawmakers.
Okay.
Get in between women and their doctors. Get in between
okay.
girls and their doctors. Get in between right-wing grifter culture warrior Republican lawmakers.
Okay.
Get in between girls and their doctors. That is what politicizes this issue. Go ahead.
Yeah, so they don't like this story because it makes them look like monsters. You know why?
Because they are monsters.
Because their position is she should not have been allowed to get an abortion. That 10-year-old should have somehow carried. She's just 10. Birth is
Very, very
difficult, and they're saying,
I don't care. I don't care.
This is the pro-life party.
pro-life, right?
So they're monsters. They're absolute sick monsters. So they're monsters. They're absolute sick monsters. So they're monsters. They're absolute sick monsters. So in order to cover up, like, it didn't happen. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
They should be defended. I mean, look, as soon as that story came out, why was the first instinct to discredit that story?
When in reality, I mean, their first instinct should be to defend the laws that are now in place in Ohio.
I mean, shouldn't you be defending it?
Yeah, Anna, I was gonna say, shouldn't you be proud? I mean, this is what you fought for 50 years.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you finally got it. So shouldn't you be out there going like, yes, yes,
Make that 10-year-old have the rapist baby.
yes, yes.
Hey, it's your law, not my law. I hate the law. You say it was your whole reason for existence for a lot of your voters. The only reason they ever voted.
This is so important to them. Aren't you offending your voters who want this kind of vicious action against 10-year-olds? That's hate. It's not my goddamn law. It's your goddamn law. Yes, yes.
The right wing in America relies on politics of
Fear,
politics of
misery.
Think about it.
No, thank you.
Just briefly.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Sorry.
Now, if you're an adult woman, you've been planning a pregnancy, you're excited to have a baby, you are mentally prepared for it, you are educated about it, your body, since you're an adult, is likely far more prepared to give birth to a baby.
I was like 80 pounds when I was 10 years old.
Okay, then let's talk about what the child, when you're delivering the baby, what is that like? So when a 10-year-old, who had been a rape victim and got pregnant, impregnated by that rapist, would she be forced to do this through a
Vaginal birth?
No, think about it. I want the right wing, I want everyone to think about it.
I know it's super uncomfortable, it's disgusting.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so then one of the guys who didn't believe it, so Jim Jordan's a particularly interesting one. He's like,
like there was sexual abuse and it didn't get reported.
Oh my God.
Jim Jordan was a wrestling coach when a doctor on that same team sexually molested dozens of wrestlers. And a lot of them have now come forward and said, yeah, Jim Jordan knew. For a fact, he knew. We told him, can you please get him to stop molesting us and the students, us. Now, it's not surprising that he says, who cares about the 10-year-old? Because he's been abusing kids and helping to abuse kids
his whole life. Okay.
And he,
And
but then he says,
oh, no, I don't even believe it.
They are
disgusting people.
So the Joe Bidens of the world and every stupid reporter in Washington keeps saying,
oh, bipartisanship is so important. You need to hold hands with Republicans and say how great they are.
No deal. No deal.
We need to fight Republicans and we need to beat Republicans. If you see a Democrat kissing a Republican's ass, know that they are not on your side.
Go fight them. These people are goddamn monsters.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. We really appreciate it.
Don't worry that we're robbing you blind.
Yes!
Make that 10-year-old have the rapist baby.
Yes! Us.
On The Bachelorette.
This week about fantasy suites. And his whole talk was, I made the fantasy suites, and if they had slept with anyone, I would walk out and leave.
Okay. I can't believe this is happening. When I came into this, I didn't want to look like a girl that just got brought to fantasy suites. And, you know,
Almost sexualized in a way.
new reports reveal that police officers in Arizona who were supposed to be investigating potential sex trafficking in massage parlors
were actually soliciting sex acts in the very massage parlors that they were investigating. From the very victims that they're allegedly trying to protect.
So let's assume for a second the cop is not lying. Hilarious, I know. And let's assume that that was his first time.
How about the other 7 times?
Oh my God.
Were you also nervous on the 6th time? On the 6th time? Oh, I didn't know what to do, and she had already started, and I suppose I reached the conclusion. And were you also nervous on the 6th time? On the 6th time? On the 6th time? Oh, I didn't know what to do, and she had already started, and I suppose I reached the conclusion. And were you also nervous on the 6th time? On the 6th time? On the 6th time? My God, golly gee, I didn't know what happened on the 6th time. On the 6th time, and I still didn't know what happened on the 7th time or the 8th on the 6th time. My God, golly gee, I didn't know what happened on the 6th time. On the 6th time, but I just kept going back just to find out. Okay, and I mean, the first one is the weakest excuse I've ever seen. I mean, I think they take credit cards, but let's try the cap thing.
Who cares what form of payment it is? Okay, but then we went in to see if they take, cashier's checks. We didn't know if they took cashier's checks.
Gotta make sure.
Then we
Gotta
got
make
$2
sure.
We thought, can I get messages to you through MySpace? I don't know. I was trying all these different angles. These guys are a joke.
Okay,
yeah.
A
Walgreens employee refused to sell a married woman a box of condoms, citing his religious beliefs in denying the sale.
It's a married couple. She forgot to pack some condoms. Okay, it's vacation time.
A little loving, you don't want to get pregnant, totally get it.
The manager, this blows my mind. The manager comes, the cashier,
John,
who's refusing to sell the box of condoms to a
married woman,
demands that he gets logged out of the register. So he's not in any way even digitally connected to the sale of the condoms.
Manager does it.
Sells, is able to do the transaction. The woman is able to get the condoms. But it is outrageous because if you don't want to see blood, maybe don't be a surgeon. If your faith makes your job impossible to do another job. Go be a priest somewhere. Go be a nun somewhere. Go do missionary work. I don't know. I don't even care. So I don't know what John's religion is exactly, but
step down, resign. This is not the job for you.
What's even more infuriating though is that Walgreens decided to release a statement backing up their employee.
These companies never back up their employees, ever. They'll throw their employees under the bus for anything. They don't want to pay their employees a decent wage. They don't want to take care of their employees with decent benefits.
But this is when they step in no.
Oh, we're looking out for our employee.
By the way, who knows what she needs the box of condoms for?
Right? I don't know. I don't know.
Clarence Thomas wants to know whether you and your partner are having a protected sex. You can't be having protected sex.
Clarence Thomas won't have it.
Clarence Thomas sitting there in the Supreme Court thinking about whether or not people are engaging in
oral or anal sex.
Like the disgusting creep that he is, Mr. Pubic Hair on a Coke can. Disgusting. Oral or anal sex. Oral or anal sex. Mr. Pubic Hair on a Coke can. Like the disgusting creep that he is. These people are perverts. Oral or anal sex. Disgusting. Clarence Thomas sitting there like the disgusting creep that he is, Mr. Pubic Hair on a Coke can. In the Supreme Court, thinking about
oral or anal sex.
It's disgusting. I'm not having it. We need to fight back aggressively against this garbage. And the fact that Walgreens stood up for that?
What about your other employees? I hope you stand up for them when they decide they don't want to do their jobs.
But they won't.
I'm sure if they turn down a mandatory or some sort of oral or anal sex, if they turn that down, I'm sure they'll get fired for that.
It's unbelievable.
I don't even care.
Major corporate media outlets like Politico and New York Times would have you believe that everything is actually going stupendously. As women's rights are being stripped away from them here in the United States, as inflation is crushing working people in this country.
Politico just wants you to know the only thing that we need is for wage growth to slow down. We just need it to slow down. That's it, and then everything will be fine. This is what hard news reporting looks like in Politico.
Yeah.
The Federal Reserve making it more expensive for corporations to borrow money by increasing interest rates is really bad, and we want them to stop doing that. And so a good way to get them to stop doing that is if we just lower wages. Please, can we do that? So here's our argument.
Yeah, and by the way, that totally defeats the point of your entire article. Is so if prices keep rising even though wages aren't, then obviously the wages aren't doing.
So your answer is, but don't increase wages so it can keep up with rising prices.
They're super frustrating. You know what the headline of that article originally was?
And no, I don't. What was it originally?
And they had to change it because they got so much pushback on it. But the text is the same exact thing. The original title was, pay raises are getting smaller. That could be a good thing for workers.
Oh my God.
Like that was a headline. It's a big blaring headline, okay?
Amazing.
Because they, in their Alice in Wonderland alternate reality of establishment Washington, they think,
oh, wages rising is the worst thing. I mean, letting the masses have a little extra wages?
No, they should know their role. Only the lobbyists get all the money.
Look, listen,
And by the way, today JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon complaining, oh, they're not letting us do as much stock buybacks. And so this is hurting us, not fair.
Poor Bibby.
This is hurting us, not fair.
Poor Bibby.
No. More punishment for the workers. More punishment.
Yeah, not
higher
manipulating.
prices, lower wages.
Not manipulating the stock market enough.
And poor Jamie Dimon. Did you hear some rhetoric about maybe reining that in a little bit? Don't worry, Jamie. You control the country. We all know. So you'll get what you want.
I guarantee it.
These people are sick. They're sick. These people are sick. They're sick. These people are sick. These people are sick. They're sick. They're sick. These people are sick. These people are sick.
I guarantee it. Poor baby Jamie Dimon.
The facts in there are true, but they are enormously misleading because they constantly do sleight of hands. They go,
well, the developing world is doing much better. Their infant mortality is down, wars are down.
So the job of the editor at the New York Times is deceive all of your readers into thinking
it's all okay. Don't take any action. Just everybody be civil. Be civil. Don't do any. No change. Change is radical. Change is radical.
Oh, we're all making tons of money. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Wages lower, everybody. Wages lower. Corporation profits higher, yay New York Times.
No, they should know their role.
This is hurting us,
baby.
not fair.
Poor baby. Poor baby Jamie Dimon.
If you're dumb enough to buy a new car this weekend, you're a big enough smut to come to Big Bill Hell's Cars. Bad deals, cars that break down, thieves. If you think you're gonna find a bargain at Big Bill, you can kiss my ass. It's our belief that you're such a stupid motherfucker. You'll fall for this bullshit. Guaranteed. If you find a better deal, shove it up your ugly ass. You heard us right. Shove it up your ugly ass. Bring your tray. Bring your time. Bring your wife. We'll fuck her. That's right. We'll fuck your wife.
Then we have this abortion activist acting as a doctor with a history of failing to report. So we're gathering the information, we're gathering the evidence as we speak, and we're going to fight this to the end.
The man you just heard from is Indiana's Republican Attorney General, and he says that his office is now planning to investigate the gynecologist/obstetrician who has performed an abortion on a 10-year-old rape victim from out of state. Now, the Republican Attorney General in Indiana, Todd Rokita, has decided,
maybe this abortion doctor is the person who needs to be investigated here.
Because there's much more concern about
demonizing
and going after her, the doctor here, rather than maybe her recalibrating their approach when it comes to these anti-abortion laws. This crime was obviously reported to the authorities, which is why Gershon Fuentes, the 27-year-old rapist, has been arrested.
And
I just think it's fascinating that they want to go after the doctor. It's just really interesting priorities here. Everyone knows, homeboy. Everyone knows. Including you. And your number one reaction is,
wait, are people getting abortions in my state, in the state of Indiana, including 10-year-old rape victims?
So,
what are you doing, homeboy?
Homeboy.
Got a bunch of rapists running around. You got a bunch of rape kits that are
because they're raping everybody out here.
Doesn't care.
One knows, homeboy.
Homeboy.
So, she didn't report.
No, it was already reported. There was nothing else left to do.
So it's a lie. The whole thing's a goddamn lie because honestly, almost every Republican politician in the country is a
massive liar.
You should always assume when they open their mouths that they're lying. Then he says, oh, well, it might be a HIPAA violation, violating that girl's privacy. It's the same guys who were saying yesterday,
oh, we don't know who it is. I bet they're lying. 100%. Show us who it is. Show us. Oh, they showed us. I can't believe it. They violated our privacy.
Now, by the way, they did not violate our privacy. They showed that the rapist was arrested. They showed the rapist, not the girl. But it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna cry.
They're filthy liars.
So they just go out there and go, oh yeah, HIPAA violation. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. First they want the HIPAA violation, then they pretend that they care about it.
You love women being brutalized like this.
They love it, they love it. That's why every talking point you hear out of their mouths is not about,
look at how stupid they are.
They love it, they love it. That's why every talking point you hear out of their mouths is not about ensuring that this 10-year-old girl is not victimized.
Look at how stupid they are.
They love it, by their policies, by rapists. Everything they say is meant to demonize the doctor.
You love women being brutalized like this.
Stupid they are.
You love women being brutalized like this.
The doctor in Indiana that did the right thing in ending this pregnancy.
I mean, look at how stupid they are. Yes, if you're a Republican, you believe that there are Marxist Democrats that are elected officials at the national level.
You're an idiot of the highest order. There's not one that's even close. There's not one within miles and miles and continents of it.
Marxists and socialists are doing this.
When you say that, what you're saying to the world is, I'm a moron.
I'm a moron. I'm a moron.
You are correct, sir.
And I don't know anything about politics. I don't know anything about what labels mean.
Marxist.
Okay, then he goes on to say, this girl was politicized for the gain of killing more babies. Okay, You guys politicized abortion for 50 straight years. You gotta vote. You gotta vote based on pro-life. Pro-life, you gotta vote. Who cares? You gotta vote. You gotta vote based on pro-life. Pro-life, you gotta vote. Who cares?
Give me your money. We're gonna give it all to the rich, but you gotta vote on abortion.
Now you're talking about politicization? Get the hell out of here.
So he says that was a terrible crime helping that girl. You should have forced that 10-year-old to have a birth.
Either, as Anna explained earlier in the show, a vaginal birth, which would, for a 10-year-old, have you met 10-year-olds? What would that do? Are you insane? Or a C-section where you rip her insides out to get the baby?
For a 10-year-old.
For a 10-year-old. For a 10-year-old.
Who's been raped?
He thinks that's awesome. He thinks that's great. That you should punish 10-year-olds who are raped like that.
And he says, and it's so bad to try to help her that he's willing to imprison the doctor who helped her. Republicans are monsters. Republicans are monsters.
They're terrible, immoral people.
They have no morals, they have no empathy for anyone else. And Anna proved definitively to you guys that this attorney general whose job is to prosecute rapists doesn't give a damn about prosecuting rapists.
Because they raping everybody out here.
He loves that those rapists are running around. He won't even test the kids.
Well, obviously.
He has the kids. He will not test them. Why? There's one connecting thread. Well, if you let the rapists go,
you punish women.
What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women. That is good.
And if you force women to have the babies of rapists,
you punish the women.
To hear the lamentation of their women. That is good.
That's all these monsters care about.
Is punishing women and controlling them like they used to.
Like the good old days, make America great again.
When men controlled women and
had them under their thumb and wouldn't let them out, wouldn't let them give them any freedom at all. So your body's my body. I control it whenever I want, and I'm gonna get tyrannical government, big government to step in and destroy you.
That's what Republicans are. They're sick people. Every time I hear Biden say how much he loves Republicans,
see, now that's some bullshit.
It makes me want to vomit. Every time I hear Biden say how much he loves Republicans, it makes me want to vomit.
You piece of crap.
Come on, man.
You piece of crap, fight them. Fight them. God damn it, you're never gonna God damn it, you're never gonna You're never gonna fight them.
Then get the hell out of the way. Then get the hell out of the way.
Let us do it. Progressives will fight them. Get out of the way, you loser! Loser!
Get out of the way, you loser! Loser!
You goddamn loser! Fight them! Look at what they're doing to little girls! Look at what they're doing to women all over the country! Fight them, you monster, you idiot! Fight them! No, every Democrat lays down. Pelosi lays down.
Are you crying?
And she supported an anti-choice Democrat, Henry Cuellar. Yay, after Roe, after Roe. Yay, after Roe, after Roe. After Roe, after Roe.
She supports anti-choice candidates.
Pelosi's a monster.
Biden afterwards is now going to nominate an anti-choice judge because he loves his friend Mitch McConnell so much and he made him a promise.
No, fight them. But they never will. Democratic leadership, total and utter losers. They're losers. Get the hell out of the way. Get out of the way and let us at them. Look at how
stupid they are.
What are you doing, homeboy?
I'm a moron.
Get out of the way, you loser.
Hers.
I'm a moron.
superhero.
Like.